Hey everyone. Over the last few weeks, I've shared insights on the performance of a variety of different commercial real estate property types. I covered the most recent performance metrics as well as our year-end 2023 forecast. This week, I'll look forward into 2024 and share our forecasts on what to expect in the coming year. A variety of key economic forecasts play a significant role in shaping all of our real estate forecasts. To start, our baseline scenario calls for a soft landing. That's not to say a soft landing's guaranteed. A variety of different forces could disrupt that outcome, but at this point, we consider a soft landing to be the most likely economic scenario. That said, I do want to reiterate that a soft landing doesn't mean an extended period of growth. A soft landing would be a period of flat or nominal growth. In other words, GDP growth at or near 0% for part of the year. Toward that end, we expect job creation to continue to shed momentum, slowing from about 2.7 million jobs in 2023 to about 1.7 million new positions in 2024. As part of that, the number of job openings should continue to shrink and wage pressure should continue to ease. We also anticipate core retail sales will flatten on an inflation-adjusted basis, along with business investment in equipment. Meanwhile, consumer sentiment should gradually increase, which would lift household formation numbers and in turn bolster apartment performance. Because single-family home prices are so high, weaker home sales activity will also support the rental housing market. And that combination should lift apartment demand to about 390,000 units in 2024. However, we are forecasting the completion of a record 480,000 new apartments in 2024, and that supply surge will drive vacancy rates up by 30 basis points to 6%. In addition, the significant wave of new apartments entering lease-up will drive the use of concessions and restrain effective rent growth to an average of about 1.5% on a national basis. Next up, office. At this point, everyone's pretty familiar with the challenges faced by the office properties, so I'm not going to elaborate on what's driving the trends for this property type. On average, we're forecasting office vacancies will rise by another 90 basis points in 2024 to a record high 18.5%. Baked into that number is negative absorption of about 26 million square feet, which isn't as bad as the negative 67 million square feet logged in 2023. But the generally weak space demand will likely restrain asking rents, driving a decline of 1.9%. That said, remember that the weak national average doesn't mean all office properties are faring poorly. Some areas like Southeast Florida, Las Vegas, and the Inland Empire continue to outperform the broader trend. Now retail, which was hit hard by the pandemic but has since recovered. Part of that's because the pandemic finally cleared off a lot of the dead weight, old, outdated, enclosed malls and leftover Kmarts. But the other factor driving retail's strong results is the record retail sales achieved over the last 18 months or so. Grocery and necessity retail centers have delivered particularly strong results, but the entire sector is benefiting. Now, although we expect consumption and inflation-adjusted core retail sales to flatten in 2024, space absorption should remain positive at about 26 million square feet. But that still falls short of the expected 37 million square feet of newly developed retail space. And that will drive a 10 basis point rise in vacancy rates to an average of 4.8% and taper rent growth to about 2.6%. And that brings me to industrial properties. As everyone is likely aware, industrial has generally delivered very strong performance over the last few years. Looking forward to 2024, we expect construction to taper, receding from the record 400 million square feet delivered in 2023 to about 360 million square feet. And although we expect space demand to increase in 2024, we still expect an 80 basis point increase in vacancy rates to 6.1%. That said, it should be noted that industrial construction will remain concentrated in about 10 major metros, so the performance of industrial assets could vary significantly on a market-by-market basis. So in wrap-up, we do expect the Federal Reserve to successfully slow the economy, and our forecasts bake in a soft landing. But the pace of growth will be slower in 2024 than it was in 2023, and as a result, the national average performance of all types of commercial real estate is expected to soften a bit in the coming year. But remember, that's a macro perspective based on US averages. Individual assets and even whole cities can and will outperform the broader national average. In closing, I want to wish everyone a happy holidays and a reminder to keep your eyes on the horizon.